Okay, so this is the third video of my set for my glitter mason jar glasses. Today we're going to go ahead and put the final epoxy on to seal that glitter in. So the epoxy that I use is just this clear, crystal clear epoxy. Actually got it off of Amazon. I went for the smaller bottles because this was the first time doing it and I didn't know, one, if I would be able to do it, and two, if I would like this product. So I didn't want to buy the big pump jugs. So I mixed them equal parts, A and B. I stirred them together, and then I actually let my epoxy sit. And for those that use epoxy all the time, hearing that may have just made you cringe a little. But I find it easier for me, personally, when the epoxy is a little thicker. I find it doesn't run as much and it goes on more evenly for me. That's just through, quote, test drives, I guess you could say, of other mugs that I've done. So I went ahead and prepped my glasses. They have the final coat of Mod Podge on them to seal that glitter in. And then I went ahead and put painter's tape just above the line of the glitter, a little above, so you can see some of the glass. And that's just to make sure that the epoxy gets up over the glitter. Some of you may not do that. That's your preference. It's, like I said, these are yours. Do it your way. This is just how I find it convenient for me. So once you get done and the epoxy is dry, it's actually going to be shiny. And this is the fun part. You get to see it go from this dull pink to this bright pink. So that's what's fun for me, is you get to see it really bring your cup to life. So I'm going to go ahead and I grab my jar and hold it upside down, well, to the side. Take some of my epoxy here on my stick, and I'm just going to put it on. You don't need a lot. You're going to smear it all around and make sure it gets in all those cracks and edges. So as you can see, I don't have a lot on there, and I'm just going to use my finger and go over it, kind of pressing hard so that it gets down in all those little spaces that the glitter is. And when you get up along the edge by the tape, you don't want to go high up on the tape, but high enough that you can see that you've hit that area. And you'll be able to feel with your finger the area you've done and haven't done. That's what's nice about it, is it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's slimy, I guess you could say, and once you put the epoxy over your glitter, it becomes smooth. So that's always nice to be able to feel where you've already gone, so you don't keep going over there and then it's too thick in one spot. So just that little amount, and as you push your finger down, you're going to be dragging more over it. Now, some people, you'll see, have a cup spinner. I don't know the exact term that they're using for it, but they put this on it and it spins it for them. And that helps the epoxy distribute evenly. So if you're going to be doing a lot of these and you think that's something you may want to consider, I know they're out there. I've even found them on Amazon. So, you know, if you're a crafty person and can make one, great. If not, you can buy one. I just don't make a lot to justify having one. And I kind of like holding it to where I have control and being able to feel where my epoxy is and isn't, and where it's thicker than the other places. Okay, so now it's pretty much in there, and I know that because when I run my finger over it, pushing hard, I'm not getting a whole lot to spread. It's kind of like spreading butter on toast. You don't want to rip that bread, but if the butter's warm enough, you can feel how it evenly spreads over the bread. And that's kind of how what this reminds me of. Okay, so I don't need that much more. I only have this little area, so you can see just that little amount that I used covered almost this whole glass. So that's another reason why I bought the little containers of epoxy, is because those two, or that set that I bought has almost done a dozen glasses. So just want to put the extra where it's still rough. Lightly going over it. And the reason it took me so long to get this video on here is because I had to get enough glasses done. I don't like to just epoxy 2 glasses at a time, or 1. I find that a waste. If I'm going to mix epoxy, I might as well do it with 5 or 6 glasses. So that's where I'm at today. I actually have 5 to do today. As you can see, though, it's not going to take me that long. I'm almost done with this one. So once you get all done, and you feel like it's evenly done, you can sit here and spin it for a couple minutes yourself. Just lightly spin it. I mean, you're going to go slow, but if you don't want to do that, make sure you get it up in that crease. I turn them upside down. Sorry, I lost track of mine there for a second. I turn them upside down because I've made sure to run my finger around this bottom lip here to seal that bottom glitter in. I turn them upside down, and then I watch them to make sure that if the epoxy doesn't run, if it does run, it's not going to run past this tape and come up here. Okay? So I'm just rubbing it around, feeling all my area, getting any excess off. And you can already see, even without the epoxy being dry, like it's still wet. It's going to take a good 24 hours for this epoxy to dry. But I can feel on the cup where it's thicker than others, and I can get that area, or where I might need to pull a little more to it. Okay, so we're done with this one. As you can see, it's right at that. You can see where the tape gets shiny. That's my line of where my finger went. So I know that it's inside that line right there. Now the same with the Mod Podge. You don't want to leave this tape on until this is completely dry, or you will not get this off. I will, however, leave it on until I feel that the epoxy is no longer running. Now, while these are still wet, if you're doing more than one at a time, do not let them touch. I did that. I sat 2 upside down like this, and they were drying, and I was moving them, and they touched, and they stuck. So I had to pull them apart, and what that did was it lifted the glitter Mod Podge. It cleaned my glass. So I had to strip all of the glitter, everything off, and I had to start from square one. I took fingernail polish remover, and it actually wiped off that wet epoxy. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that was just the first thing I could think of, so I grabbed it while the epoxy was still kind of wet, and I went ahead and got it off my glass. So you can already see how much brighter that is. So here's one clearly that you just watched me do, and here's one that's not yet done. I mean, you can see that shine. So it just really brings them to life and makes them pop. So I'm going to go ahead and set this over there and get these other 4 done. Like I said, you got to watch it. Once your epoxy quits running, take that tape off. If you don't take that tape off, it's going to stick, and your glass is going to look like this, tape and all. So don't forget to take that tape off. If you guys want to stick around for a video 4, I'm actually, as we speak, having my images that I'm going to etch on here. I know that I said this was only going to be a 3-part series, which it really is. Like, this is all that's left to do of the glass. And at this point is when some people would have not taped it, and they would have put their vinyl on and epoxied the whole glass and epoxied that vinyl in so that it wouldn't lift. I actually etch mine. And the reason I etch them is because I enjoy etching. And it's something that not a lot of people do. Like, you can buy a cup that has vinyl on it, but I like etching. So that's going to be my next series. I'm having my stencils etched or cut out now from vinyl, and I should receive those tomorrow. Once I receive those and my epoxy's dry, I'll take a night to etch. Etching does not take that long. Once you get your stencil on, you put your etching cream over it. It takes about 5 minutes. Wash it off, take your tape off, and your glass is completely done. And that's the fun part, is once they get completely done and you can see those, it's so satisfying to know you made these and there's no two alike. I could do another purple, pink, and white one, but it's not going to be the same. So that's where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, get these other ones done. I'll probably do my etching video tomorrow. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure that you hear as soon as I post that video. If nothing else, it's going to be an etching tutorial. So if you have something else that you want etched, you'll know how to do it. There was a lot of times for weddings, I will go to Walmart and buy the Pyrex casserole set. And in the bottom of the pan, I'll actually etch their last name and a cute picture. That way, if they go to a potluck and they leave and forget their pan, whoever cleans up will see their name on the bottom and they'll be like, oh, okay, that's Tim and Linda's. They'll know. If you are looking for that gift, a lot of times I'll do a popcorn bowl for people. You just get a big bowl, you put popcorn on it, you etch popcorn on it. Make it a movie bowl, you put popcorn in it. Some cute candy from the dollar store. Maybe a cheap $5 movie. Makes a great gift, and that's something they'll have forever. So I'm going to keep going along here and get my extra epoxy off. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll make sure to keep checking so I can get back to you on that. Like I said, I'm not a pro when it comes to this. This is my first set of glasses. I'm enjoying them. I'm having fun with them. I enjoy the way I do it. You guys will find your own way, and you'll enjoy the way you do it. So let me know how it goes.